Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah Donald, and today I want to talk about the Nigerian begging culture. I mean, this is something that a lot of people have experienced. Every time you talk about like coming to Nigeria, moving to Nigeria, people are always like, how do I manage boundaries with friends and family from the airport? A lot of people have shared their airport experience. In fact, when they are coming in, the first thing they'll tell you is that prepare for the Lagos airport, prepare for the Abuja airport, and whatnot. So for someone that, I mean, I've lived in Nigeria for a good amount of time, I want to break down and discuss this begging culture before I could actually say yes. Nigeria has a begging culture. Someone said that in the US it's called tipping. I agree, but yes, this is even more than tipping because tipping is more like you do the job right, then expect someone to tip you. And of course, like in a lot of countries, immigration will hardly talk to you, how much more asking you anything for the boys, anything for the boys. In fact, a lot of people come to Nigeria and the only pidgin they know is anything for the boys. Why is this? So first of all, I cannot talk about this without acknowledging the fact that there is poverty. Yes, not an excuse, but I mean, we have to touch on everything and why. Now, the minimum wage as of the time of me making this video is like 70,000 naira, right? Which is about what, 60 or $80, depending on the time. That means you cannot pay less than that, and that is supposed to be a guide. So maybe the person there that you're meeting at that airport that is standing there the whole time is probably receiving like 150,000, 200. The cost of living has really gone up, right? So everybody is always asking for something extra. That security at the gate that is opening the gate for you is asking for that extra 2K. That person that sees you on the street is asking for extra 1K because it almost feels like nothing is ever enough. So if I can get to 2K every time someone passes there, and that means for every 2K you give me, it's covered like my transportation. So I have to, that's okay, and I can remove my transportation from it. But that, again, like I said, that's not an excuse, but that is also one thing why you can see this begging culture a lot happening, like in the airport, everywhere. It's so bad. People are stopping you on the road. Madam, anything for us? Or guy, anything for us? Some people now even make change. Even a cashless place, sometimes they'll tell you to transfer. Now that we are literally cashless, you see people get cash just for anything for us kind of thing. You can be on the road now and your tire will spoil. People will rush you to come and help you, and before you know it, they're like, anything for us, anything for us. Do you get what I mean? Like, so it's really there. Poverty is a thing. Now, entitlement. Nigerians can be very entitled because growing up, a lot of Nigerians we have this entitlement mentality. If you do not grow up in Nigeria, but if you've watched Nigerian movies, you know what I mean. You're entitled to your brother's wealth. You're entitled to your father. You're entitled to everything. In fact, people would say things like, how can you have this when your brother is suffering? How can you have this when your sister is suffering? It is expected that when you're made, you have to literally help everybody. And by help is not, oh, okay, I have an office. What can you do for me? Maybe you can work here. No, it is expected that you will be feeding people. An average Nigerian has black tax. Yes, that your help, your nanny, you're paying 100,000, 200,000. From that 200,000, from that 100,000, from that 70,000 has black tax that she's paying. She's giving family members money. People are calling left and right. Some people stay at home. They do not do anything. They make money from black tax. They are calling brothers, sisters. There's a reason this has also affected generational wealth, because young people will go abroad to make a living for themselves, and the amount of money, I mean, I think CBN said, was it over 1 billion that Nigerians sent to Nigeria for black tax? Even when they were talking about the taxing, the questions I got a lot was I'm sending money to my family, what should I write so that I won't be taxed on it? That's the thing, because it is a thing, right? And a lot of people cannot relate. I saw this lady, to digress, sorry to digress, but there's a lady doing like her monthly expenses abroad, and people were like, Africans in the comment section could not relate because there was nothing like mother's money, father's money, like money she was going to give her father, money she was going to give her brother. Everything was basically like how she would spend on her rent, her feeding, blah, 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 blah. And in her comment section, they were surprised that, wait, you mean you don't have any family member that you give money? So this has kind of like made us really entitled, right? Senior brother, senior sister mentality. When you're growing up and you want your brother's toy, your parents will come and collect it and say, can't you see he's your brother? Can't you see he's your older brother? Can't you see he's your older sister? So a lot of kids grow up with that entitlement. People will tell you that they are getting married and you're like, you don't have money. They will say, my brother will sponsor the wedding. They will get married with their brother sponsoring the wedding in their mind, their sister sponsoring the wedding. And if you don't do it, they will call family meeting for you. Like, it is now an entitlement thing. So how does this now come back to the begging culture? It comes in like that man that is seeing you at the airport saying anything for us believes that he doesn't care if you've had issues abroad. He doesn't care if you struggle to even buy that ticket. He automatically believes that for you to be flying there, that you're better and have more money. So they are entitled to that, your money. They have that entitlement mentality. You go to a store, the security guard that is opening the door for you to enter is greeting, good morning, ma. Happy Sunday, ma. Happy New Year, ma. When they start doing that greeting, it's like, thank you. They're asking for money. They don't care if they don't believe that for you, like, because you're not a security person or you're not doing that job, they don't believe that you have problem. They don't believe that, yeah, this person might be rich, but it might be her last 2K that she came to use to buy that bread. They are going to ask you for it. In fact, if I remember the early times, because when I used to travel as a young person, my parents are always with me. So when your mom is with you, she's in charge of everything. You're just moving. So the very first time that I ever traveled alone, people will ask me, like, I'll come on my luggage. They want to help me carry my luggage. I'll be happy. They want, like, if it's really fast. Before you know it, madam, here. Yes, it's here. You're trying to buy airtime. They're like, come this way, because then we didn't used to buy, like, it used to be scratch card. It's here, ma. And before you know it, ma, anything for us, anything for us, anything for us. So when I learned it now, I used to like carry my, no, it's fine. No, it's fine, except I want to give you. But then because I didn't know, I was like, oh, nice, they are being nice. You think you don't know who they are, you don't know if they work, but they are so fast. Even to help you call a taxi. Ma, do you need a taxi? Will help you call. As the person that is helping you call a taxi there, the person is expecting you to give them something. So by the time you're going, you're like, ma, anything for us, anything for us. Like, 200 people are on your case because they showed you direction, because they helped you pass. In fact, because they even did their job, which is by telling you where to park left or right. They're coming near your car already, right? So this now becomes like an entitlement culture. They're entitled to, they believe, you're coming back from abroad now, you have dollar, you have money, you have pounds, you have euros. That's why it feels like it's more at the airport. You're checking in at the airport, you're checking in at the hotel. The person is looking at you there like, oh, you have money, so you have to, like, anything for us. So it's beyond tipping, because they don't even have to work to do it. It's more like you exist. So because you exist, you should give us this money. So the entitlement thing is really there again. Now, I cannot talk about this without talking about religion. Now, religion played a huge role on this, because church is the highest fundraising place. Since I was young, when I attend church, like, sometimes we will have service and service will finish at 2, and we're not going home till 4, because they're doing, oh, we want to build this, we want to buy a car for the pastor, we want to do this, oh, you're rich. So we were taught, like, give and it's to come back to you. You cannot have this and not give. Do you get, like, your pastor is entitled to your money because you came to church. They're saying whatever you have, even if it's 1,000, every Sunday they're doing like some sort of fundraising. They're telling you that even if it's 500, you should give. They want to collect down to that person that probably just managed to use the little transport money that they had to come. That is it. Now, it is so bad that it scares a lot of people. Someone put a comment on my post and wrote how this thing, like, the first time she came to Nigeria, how it was so much that she did not understand, to the extent that her nanny wanted her to help and pay school fees for her nanny's kids. That's what I'm saying. That is how entitled it has become. It's gone from help to being entitled. They believe that, oh, you're paying them for this thing, but how can you? Like, that woman has money. Why won't she help train the children you birth? It has so entered our culture that you will see somebody who hasn't eaten at least twice a day, pregnant every single year. How are they training those children? Because they believe that their neighbor needs to help them. They believe that work they're getting, it's almost like you're employing somebody and you're taking the burden of the person you're employing. People are not even scared to ask people, how are you? How is your husband? Because you hear, hey, my husband is fine, just that he doesn't have a job again and his leg is paining him. So it's like when you're paying someone, you don't have to bring extra money that you will keep. Now, because I am very solution based, we all understand. And now that we have understood that this thing exists, I'm not going to come here and claim that it doesn't exist or that it doesn't happen. Now, I want to now talk about how you can deal with it. I cannot overemphasize boundaries. See, you have to have boundaries. When I go to the airport, example, and I'm not smiling, they'll be like, "Sister, you're not smiling." I'm like, "Yeah, sister, smile for us." I know what that smile means. So now I give because I want to. If I say that you're really helpful and I want to give, I give you. I do not give because you greeted me 2 million times. I will answer you 2 million times and I will not greet. If I feel like you did your job, or I just feel like blessing this person, I will do it. But I just don't do it because I don't want to. Like just because it says I should. No. Then I create boundaries at home, everywhere, even when I am employing people. Because like I said, it got so bad that it now became scary to employ people. I remember when I employed a driver this week, I employed him like the first week. He did not do a week. I'm not exaggerating. He did not do a week. He called me to say that his cousin brother, his cousin sister is doing this. And this thing they're asking is not loan, no, it's to help. My cousin brother's sister is getting married, ma. I don't know if you can help me with anything. They have not done a week. So because of it, I even started adding it to my conversation. Listen, this is how I operate. This and this is what I don't want. It is so bad that if I have like a driver, for example, and I give him something for his wife, he will tell me that his wife wants to call me and say thank you, or his wife wants to come and meet me and say thank you. I say it is fine. I don't cross that line. My friend, I told her about it. She's not Nigerian. She came to Nigeria. She did it. And one day she forwarded a message to me of her driver's wife telling her that, "Ma, my child will be needing Christmas dress." You heard this right. Christmas dress. Not food. Not, "Oh, ma, please, we're hungry. Can you help with this?" Christmas dress. Because she opened a relationship with them. Like, so that is how much I draw my boundaries. Don't even tell me thank you. I'm giving it to you because your husband is working here. If the wife is working for me and I want to give her something for her kids, she'll always tell me, "Ma, please, my children want to say thank you." It's fine. I give my help something. When you're going, give it to your mom. My mom wants to call and say, "It's fine. I did it for you because it is you I'm working with." I cross those things. I understand that no is no. Do I help? Yes. Of course, I help because I understand my privilege. I cannot go around saying that, "Oh, you cannot help people." No. But I do not beat myself. I give what I can. I help where I can. I do not let people gaslight me into helping. I do not help people gaslight me into doing, like, I will not help you just because you're my cousin, right? A lot of my family know me. You don't give out my number anyhow. And if you give, and I notice that you're the type of person that only checks up to say, "Please, this is wrong with me. Please, can I get this?" I will block. Simple. I will block, right? So I like to create that boundary. It is very necessary. When I made a video about black tax, there's something someone wrote that I actually do it, but the way he wrote it made more sense to me. He said he takes a percentage for his black tax. And once this percentage is done, he's not giving anything again. So I started doing that even for the people that I help, because there are some people that are like, okay, you have taken up that these people are your responsibility. So what you do is that you give them this. This is what I have for them. Maybe people that have parents that you're taking care of your parents now because they are old. I see stories of like someone was actually saying on Instagram how her mom calls her about August meeting every day, blah, 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 blah. So some parents can actually go there. Like, your child is working here, toiling around to make ends meet. But somehow you want to go for all the meetings. You want to go for, and again, the worst part is like the overly religious ones. They will take your money and use it, and one pastor will be manipulating them. So he said that he just had these boundaries now, that he told his mom, "This is how much I'll be sending you per every month. If you use that money and say you want to give it to pastor, it's on you people." So the first time the mom called, "Oh, that money you gave is not." He said, "Mom, I don't have anything." The second one, the mom said, "No, no, no, let me try." People already told him that everything you're giving your mom, trust me, she goes to share it in church. When he did it twice and the mom knew that they were serious, he said, since then, it hasn't happened again. See, they'll be okay. That's the truth. So this video is not to say, oh, don't help. That will never be it, because at some point we all need help one way or the other in our life, right? But the truth is, I am also a believer of, if you can teach people how to fish, do it. Instead of saying, take this 1K, take this 2K, if there's a way you can employ people. In my community, I do it a lot. I don't like the whole, oh, let's raise money, this person needs help. Let's raise the money, this person needs help. I'm always like, what can we do for the person? Like, can you start a business? I'll be more comfortable buying your business. Like, start a business, say you sell underwear or something. Say you sell tops. Say like you sell pants, things like that. I will buy it. That way I don't feel cheated, because I don't feel like you're just sitting there in your house taking advantage of the fact that we are in a community. No, but you're actually doing something. Are you a cleaner? Do you have a cleaning company? Like, instead of just saying take, employ that person. Employ that person. Use the person's cleaning company. Use the person as your tailor. Use that. But the most important thing, that if you want to survive in a country that has that quote unquote begging culture, I beg now, anything for us, you must have that boundaries. Yes, you must be able to create that boundaries and stick to it. Because when you're down, those people you helped will not come and help you. That is the truth. When you're down, those people that you gave in your all, when you can't, they don't see any need for you again, they'll withdraw. So I've seen that it is not a reason to be scared. In fact, one of the reasons I made this video is I had a conversation with someone, and the person wants to move to Nigeria, and the major fear was like that the way they hear so much about the begging culture is scary. And I was like, wow, for it to be so scary that it is affecting this person's decision, I want you to understand that you can say no. Yeah, you can say no. Like I said, just as little as this thing I did of saying, you don't have to tell your like your family to call me to say thank you. You have said thank you through them. That cuts it. From the case of even hiring, when you're hiring staff, because a lot of people do not, they do this, you are like family. That's what they do a lot in Nigeria. You're like a family to me, you're like sister to me, you're like brother to me. It's okay to treat someone with love. Someone doesn't have to be like a brother to you to treat them with love. Someone, you can still employ someone and treat them with utmost respect without the person being a sister to you. You can have boundaries. Even with your kids, you have boundaries. So why can't you have boundaries with every other person, with outsiders? So yes, I'm not going to stay here and say that that culture does not exist. It exists, but it's not enough reason to say that this is why you don't want to move. No, you can actually say no. And it's not like an everyday thing. Like your securities, where they stay, I'm a believer of that. I'm not a believer of like every time you're passing, you give them money. But I do my own differently. Like every festive season, I make sure I celebrate them, because it's not easy. I give when I can, like just randomly, I do it. But you can't come to me and say, and then I don't, my default is not always yes. That's another thing. My default is not yes, because they want to try you. They want to try you, and they want to see, oh, who is this sort of person? Is it somebody that I can just say, oh, I need this, and the person will make it happen immediately? No, I don't want to be your number one, you know, option. I don't want to be that. That's it. So my name remains Sarah Donald. I hope you got one or two from this video, and we can chat more in the comment section. I really do enjoy your interactions and the comments, so do well to drop it. And if you want me to make any video tailored to moving to Nigeria, living in Nigeria, one-on-one consultation with me, whatever it is, please check the description for every detail that you need. Thank you so much, and stay blessed.